Dear students, Namaste, and once again welcome back to a new mathematics session. In the last class, we have started the chapter quadratic equations and we have discussed exercise 4.1. In this video, we are going to discuss how to solve a quadratic equation by factorization method. Let's move on to the topic. Consider the quadratic equation 2x square minus 3x plus 1 is equal to 0. If we replace x by 1 in the LHS of the equation, we get 2 into 1 square minus 3 into 1 plus 1, and which is equal to 2 into 1 square is 1, 3 into 1 3, then plus 1. That is 2 minus 3 plus 1, which is equal to 0, and that will be equal to RHS. So here LHS is equal to RHS. So we can say x is equal to 1 is a root of the quadratic equation 2x square minus 3x plus 1 is equal to 0. Or we can say x equal to 1 is a 0 of the quadratic polynomial 2x square minus 3x plus 1. Okay, in general, a real number alpha is called a root of a quadratic equation ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, where a is not equal to 0 if a into alpha square plus b into alpha plus c is equal to 0. Or we can say that x equal to alpha is a solution of this quadratic equation ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Okay. Note that the zeros of the quadratic polynomial ax square plus bx plus c is the same as the roots of a quadratic equation ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Right. You have observed in chapter 2 that a quadratic polynomial can have at most 2 zeros. So, a quadratic equation can have at most 2 roots. Okay, a quadratic equation can have at most 2 roots or 2 solutions. Clear? You have learned in class 9 how to factorize a quadratic polynomial by splitting their middle terms. We shall use this knowledge for finding the roots of a quadratic equation. Let's see how. Consider the quadratic equation 2x square minus 3x plus 1 is equal to 0. And we are going to factorize this quadratic equation by splitting their middle terms. The first point you have to keep in mind is the given quadratic equation must be in the standard form or general form. And we know the general form as ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, where a is not equal to 0. And clearly we can say here the quadratic equation is in the standard form. Okay, 2x square minus 3x plus 1 is equal to 0. Now we have to find the product AC. Here what is AC? AC means coefficient of x square into constant term. Okay, ax square plus bx plus c. So AC means this 2 into 1 and we get 2. Okay, it is the product of coefficient of x square and constant term. And next we have to take the middle term or consider the middle term. Here it is minus 3x. We are going to take the coefficient only. That means the coefficient of x, or we can say the value of b. Here the value of b is minus 3. That means what? Coefficient of x. Coefficient of x. Or simply we can write, we have to find a pair of numbers satisfying the condition that the sum of the two numbers will be equal to minus 3 and the product will be equal to 2. So, we are going to find a pair of numbers satisfying these two conditions simultaneously. That means the sum is the coefficient of x and product will be the product of the coefficient of x square and the constant term, or we can say AC. Is it clear? In order to find the numbers, we have to write the factors of the product. That means here the product is 2. So we have to write the factors of this number 2. And we know the factors of 2 are 1 and 2 only. Now we can look at the sum. Here the sum is minus 3. So what we can write? Minus 1 minus 2. If it is minus 1 and minus 2, we will get the sum as minus 3. And what about the product? Minus 1 into minus 2 gives plus 2. So we can realize that these are the two numbers. Minus 1 and minus 2 are the two numbers that satisfies the two conditions simultaneously. That means sum is minus 3 and product is 2. And according to these numbers, we can split the middle term minus 3x. Okay. So here 2x square, then this minus 3x, that means the middle term we can split into 2. One is minus 1x, or we can write minus x, and other one is minus 2x. Then the last term 1 we write as it is, plus 1 is equal to 0. Okay. And from the first two terms we can take common factors. Here from the first two terms we can take one x as a common factor. So what we can write is x into 2x minus 1. Then from the next two terms we can take minus 1 as a common factor. Here we can see there is no common factors other than 1. So we can take 1 as a common factor. Here we can write minus 1. So minus 1 into, inside the bracket what we get, 2x. Then this plus 1 becomes minus 1. Remember, the two quantities on the bracket in the first term and the next term will be the same. Here 2x minus 1, here also 2x minus 1. Now overall, if we look at this LHS of the equation, we can see 2x minus 1 is common. Here we have one 2x minus 1, here also 2x minus 1. So now we can take 2x minus 1 out. So 2x minus 1 into x minus 1 will be equal to 0. That means the product of two terms is 0. 2x minus 1 into x minus 1 is equal to 0. That means a into b equal to 0. A into b equal to 0 means either a equal to 0 or b equal to 0. So what we can write is either 2x minus 1 equal to 0 or x minus 1 is equal to 0. So we can equate it separately. 2x minus 1 equal to 0 or x minus 1 is equal to 0. And from the first term we can write 2x is equal to 1 or x is equal to 1 by 2. And here we can write x is equal to 1. So here we can conclude the solutions of the given quadratic equation 2x square minus 3x plus 1 is equal to 0 are 1 by 2 and 1. Okay. So these are the roots of the given quadratic equation. X is equal to 1 and x is equal to 1 by 2. Is it clear? Okay, now we move on to exercise 4.2. Here the first question is, find the roots of the following quadratic equation by factorization. Find the roots of the following quadratic equation by factorization. We have 5 sub-questions. We shall discuss one by one. First one is x square minus 3x minus 10 is equal to 0. So let us consider the first one. X square minus 3x minus 10 is equal to 0. Here the sum is coefficient of x, that means minus 3, and the product is what? Coefficient of x square into constant term. Here no number is written in front of x square, that means the coefficient of x square is 1. Okay, 1 into minus 10 we get minus 10. So we have to find two numbers satisfying these two conditions. At the same time the sum is minus 3 and product is minus 10. From the factors of 10 we can identify the numbers as 2 and 5. 2 into 5 is 10, but here it is minus 10. So one number must be minus and other one is plus. And look at the sum. Here the sum is negative. Sum is negative means the large number will be negative. So we can write 2 and minus 5 as the numbers, and using this we can split the middle term. So here we can write x square plus 2x minus 5x minus 10 is equal to 0. First two terms we can take x common, so x into x plus 2, and from the next two terms we can take minus 5 common, so minus 5 into x plus 2 which is equal to 0. And overall x plus 2 is common, so x plus 2 into x minus 5 is equal to 0. Now we can equate each one separately. X plus 2 is equal to 0 or x minus 5 is equal to 0. That is x equal to minus 2 or x equal to 5. These are the roots of the given quadratic equation. Is it clear? Now we move on to the second question. Here the second one is 2x square plus x minus 6 is equal to 0. Here the sum is 1. Coefficient of x here is 1 and product is 2 into minus 6, that is minus 12. And we can easily find the numbers as 4 and 3. 4 into 3 is 12. And here it is minus 12 and the sum is 1. So the large number, sign of the large number will be positive and smaller number will be negative. 4 minus 3 we get what? 1. 4 into minus 3 minus 12. We can split the middle term. So 2x square then plus 4x minus 3x minus 6 is equal to 0. First two terms 2x is common, so 2x into x plus 2. Next two terms minus 3 is common, minus 3 into x plus 2 which is equal to 0. Overall x plus 2 is common, so x plus 2 into 2x minus 3 is equal to 0. So x plus 2 is equal to 0 or 2x minus 3 is equal to 0. From this we can write x equal to minus 2 or 2x is equal to 3, that is x equal to minus 2 or x equal to 3 by 2. So these are the roots of the given equation. Okay. Now consider the third one. Root 2 x square plus 7x plus 5 root 2 is equal to 0. Here the sum is 7. Product is what? Root 2 into 5 root 2. Root 2 into root 2 is 2. 5 into 2 is 10. So product is 10. So the numbers are 2 and 5. 2 plus 5 is 7. 2 into 5 is 10. So here we can write root 2 x square plus 2x plus 5x plus 5 root 2 is equal to 0. That is the 7x middle term is split into 2, 2x and 5x. Now we can take root 2x from the first two terms. We know 2 can be written as root 2 into root 2. Okay. So among this term we can take one root 2 out. So what we get is x plus root 2. Okay. The next two terms 5 is common. So 5 into x plus root 2 is equal to 0. Overall x plus root 2 is common. So x plus root 2 into root 2 x plus 5 is equal to 0. And we can equate x plus root 2 equal to 0 or root 2 x plus 5 is equal to 0. And what we can write is x is equal to minus root 2 or root 2 x is equal to minus 5. That is x equal to minus root 2 or x equal to minus 5 divided by root 2. So these are the roots. X equal to minus root 2 and x is equal to minus 5 by root 2. Clear? Now consider the fourth one. 2x square minus x plus 1 by 8 is equal to 0. In order to change this fraction, we can multiply the entire equation by 8. Multiplying by 8. And what we get is 16x square minus 8x plus 1 is equal to 0. So here the sum is minus 8 and product is 16 into 116. So the numbers will be minus 4 and minus 4. Minus 4 plus minus 4 is what? Minus 8 and minus 4 into minus 4 is plus 16. Okay. Now we can split the middle term. 16x square minus 4x then minus 4x plus 1 is equal to 0. First two terms which is common. From the first two terms we can take 4x as a common factor. So 4x into 4x minus 1. And from the next two terms we can take 1 as a common factor. Here minus 4x, so we can take minus 1 as a common factor. So minus 1 into 4x minus 1 is equal to 0. and overall 4x minus 1 is common, so 4x minus 1 into remaining term is 4x minus 1, which is equal to 0. So we can write 4x minus 1 equal to 0, or again 4x minus 1, which is equal to 0. So 4x equal to 1 or 4x equal to 1. Here x equal to 1 by 4. Here also x equal to 1 by 4. So we get two equal roots, x equal to 1 by 4 and again x equal to 1 by 4. Okay. Now we move on to the last sub question. 100x square minus 20x plus 1 is equal to 0. Here the sum is minus 20 and product is 100 into 100. So we can find the numbers as minus 10 and minus 10. Okay, minus 10 plus minus 10 gives minus 20 and minus 10 into minus 10 gives plus 100. So the remaining part you can do, so do it as a homework. Solve the problems given in example 1. Solve the problems given in example 1. So in example 1, here we have two sub questions, and the first sub question is John and Jivanti together have 45 marbles. Both of them lost 5 marbles each, and the product of the number of marbles they now have is 124. We would like to find out how many marbles they had to start with. Okay, here the situation is John and Jivanti together have 45 marbles and both of them lost 5 marbles each. Okay, and the product of the number of marbles they now have is 124. And what we have to find? We have to find the number of marbles in which they had to start with. At the beginning, how many marbles were there, that we have to find out. Okay, so let us suppose the number of marbles John had be x. Okay, let John had x marbles. So the number of marbles Jivanti had, the number of marbles Jivanti had is equal to 45 minus x, because they together have 45 marbles. Okay, so if one we take it as x, then other one will be 45 minus x. Clear? Now both of them lost 5 marbles each. Okay, so what we can write? The number of marbles left with John after losing 5 marbles. Okay, that will be equal to x minus 5. And the number of marbles left with Jivanti is equal to 45 minus x minus 5. Okay, that is 40 minus x. 45 minus 5 is 40, and we can write 40 minus x. And it is given that the product of these two numbers will be equal to what? 124. Okay, the product is equal to 124. It is given in the question. So what we can write is, according to the question, x minus 5 into 40 minus x is equal to 124. Now we can multiply, point-wise multiplication, x into 40, x into minus x, minus 5 into 40, minus 5 into minus x. Okay, so x into 40 is 40x, then x into minus x is minus x square, minus 5 into 40 is minus 200, then minus into minus plus 5x, which is equal to 124. We can rearrange. First we can write the term involving x square. Here it is minus x square, then 40 plus 5, 45x, minus 200. This time we can take to left side, minus 124 is equal to 0. or we can write minus x square plus 45x, then minus 324 is equal to 0. Now we can multiply the entire equation by 1 minus 1. So multiplying by minus 1, what we get is x square minus 45x plus 324 is equal to 0. This is the required quadratic equation. Now we have to solve this quadratic equation in order to get the value of x. For that we can go for the method of factorization. That means splitting the middle term method we can apply here. Okay, here the equation is x square minus 45x plus 324 is equal to 0. And we can write the sum as minus 45 and the product is 324. We can find out the numbers as 9 and 36. Here we can put the sign of both numbers as negative. Minus 9 plus minus 36. Minus 9 plus minus 36 gives minus 45 and 36 into 9 gives 324. Okay, and we can split the middle term. Here x square minus 9x minus 36x plus 324 is equal to 0. From the first two terms, only x is common, so x into x minus 9, and from the next two terms we can take 1 minus 36 out. So minus 36 into x minus 9 is equal to 0. Overall x minus 9 is common, so x minus 9 into x minus 36 is equal to 0. Now we can equate each of them to 0. X minus 9 is equal to 0 or x minus 36 is equal to 0. That is x equal to 9 or x equal to 36. So this is our solution, x equal to 9 or x equal to 36. Okay. So now we move on to the next question. A cottage industry produces a certain number of toys in a day. The cost of production of each toy in rupees was found to be 55 minus the number of toys produced in a day. On a particular day, the total cost of production was rupees 750. We would like to find out the number of toys produced on that day. Okay, we have to find the number of toys. So here we can consider the number of toys produced on a day will be equal to x. Okay, so we can write let the number of toys produced on a day be x. And here it is given that the cost of production of each toy was found to be 55 minus the number of toys produced in a day. So what we can write is the cost of production of a toy will be equal to 55 minus number of toys produced in a day, that is 55 minus x. Okay, the cost of production of each toy was found to be 55 minus the number of toys produced in a day. Here we take the number of toys produced on a day be x. So what we can write 55 minus x. And on a particular day, the total cost of production was 750. Okay, the cost of production on a particular day was found to be 750. We have to find what? The number of toys. So what we can write, how to find the cost of production? We have to multiply these two values. Okay, the number of toys into cost of production. So the total cost of production is equal to x into 55 minus x. And according to the question, it is given as 750. So we can write according to the question x into 55 minus x is equal to 750. Now we can multiply 55x minus x square is equal to 750. We can rearrange minus x square plus 55x minus 750 is equal to 0. And we can multiply the entire equation by minus 1. X square minus 55x plus 750 is equal to 0. This is the required quadratic equation, and on solving this quadratic equation you will get the final answer. So the remaining part is a homework, do it yourself. Okay. Now we move on to the third question in our exercise. Find two numbers whose sum is 27 and product is 182. It's a very simple question. So we can consider one number as x. Let one number be x. So what about the other number? Here the sum is 27. So other number will be equal to 27 minus x. And here it is given that the product is 182. So according to the question, we can write x into 27 minus x is equal to 182. We can multiply 27x minus x square, then minus 182 is equal to 0. Now we can rearrange minus x square plus 27x minus 182 is equal to 0. Here we can multiply the entire equation by minus 1. So what we get is x square minus 27x plus 182 is equal to 0. Here the sum is minus 27 and the product is 182. We have to find the pair of numbers satisfying these two conditions simultaneously. That means at the same time the sum will be equal to minus 27 and the product will be equal to 182. What are the numbers? So definitely we can say the numbers are 13 and 14. We can put both are minus. So minus 13 and minus 14. Minus 13 plus minus 14 is minus 27. And 13 into 14 is what? 182. So we can split the middle term, that is x square minus 13x minus 14x plus 182 is equal to 0. From the first two terms x is common, so x into x minus 13. Next two terms minus 14 is common, so minus 14 into x minus 30, which is equal to 0. Overall x minus 13 is common, so x minus 13 into x minus 14 is equal to 0. Now we can equate each and every term to 0, that is x minus 13 equal to 0 or x minus 14 is equal to 0. From this we get x equal to 13 or x equal to 14. So what we can conclude is, therefore the numbers are 13 and 14. The numbers are 13 and 14. Okay. Now we shall discuss the fourth question. Find two consecutive positive integers, sum of whose squares is 365. Here two consecutive positive integers. So we can consider one integer as x. Okay. So let one integer be x. Consecutive means nearest, continuous, successive integers. So what we can write, the next integer will be x plus 1. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. So if one is x, other one is 1 more than the previous one, x plus 1. And here the sum of whose squares is 365. Sum of whose squares. So what we can write, x square plus x plus 1 the whole square will be equal to 365. I repeat, x square plus x plus 1 the whole square is equal to 365. Now we can expand this one, x square plus, here a plus b the whole square, so x square plus 2x plus 1, then minus 365 is equal to 0. That is 2x square plus 2x minus 364 is equal to 0. We can divide the entire equation by 2. So x square plus x minus 182 is equal to 0. And here the sum is 1 and the product is minus 182. Like in the previous question, we can take the numbers as 14 and 13. And here we can put the sign of 13 as minus. 14 minus 13 is what? 14 minus 13 is 1 and 14 into minus 13 is minus 182. And using these numbers you can split the middle term and you can easily find the solution. So the remaining part you can do it yourself. Okay. Now we move on to question number 5. The altitude of a right triangle is 7 cm less than its base. If the hypotenuse is 13 cm, find the other two sides. So here we are given a right triangle. We can draw a right triangle. name it as ABC, and we have hypotenuse 13 centimeters, so AC is equal to 13 centimeter, and the condition we are given is the altitude of a right triangle is 7 centimeter less than its base. So the base we can take it as x. Okay, let the base be x. So we can write the altitude. Length of the altitude will be 7 centimeter less than its base. So x minus 7. Here it is x minus 7. Then hypotenuse, it is given as 13 centimeter. And we know the property Pythagoras theorem. Square of the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the squares of other two sides. Hypotenuse square is equal to base square plus altitude square. So what we can write here is x square plus x minus 7 the whole square is equal to 13 square. Base square plus altitude square is equal to hypotenuse square. And we can expand this one, x square plus, here a minus b the whole square. So x square minus 14x plus 49, which is equal to 169. That is 2x square minus 14x plus 49 minus 169 is equal to 0. Or we can write 2x square minus 14x minus 120 is equal to 0. Now we can divide the entire equation by 2. We get x square minus 7x minus 60 is equal to 0. Now we can split the middle term. Here the sum is minus 7 and the product is minus 60. So what we can write? What are the numbers here? So here x square minus 7x minus 60 is equal to 0. Sum is minus 7, product is minus 60, and we identify the numbers as 5 and 12, minus 12. So here we can split the middle term, x square plus 5x minus 12x minus 60 is equal to 0. From the first two terms we can take x out, so x into x plus 5, and the next two terms minus 12 is common, so minus 12 into x plus 5, which is equal to 0. Overall x plus 5 is common, so x plus 5 into x minus 12 is equal to 0. That is x plus 5 is equal to 0 or x minus 12 is equal to 0. Or we can write x equal to minus 5 or x equal to 12. And here we take the base of the triangle as x, and it is a length. Being a length, it cannot be negative. So we can reject the negative value and we can take the positive value only. So what we can write here is x equal to minus 5 is not possible. X equal to minus 5 is not possible, and therefore x equal to 12. And we can conclude. So base is equal to x, which is equal to 12 centimeter, and altitude is x minus 7. So 12 minus 7, which is equal to 5 centimeter. So base is 12 centimeter and altitude is 5 centimeter. Okay. Now we move on to the last question in this exercise. A cottage industry produces a certain number of pottery articles in a day. It was observed on a particular day that the cost of production of each article in rupees was 3 more than twice the number of articles produced on that day. If the total cost of production on that day was rupees 90, find the number of article produced and the cost of each article. So it's like the example question that we have discussed earlier. So we can start. Here we can take the number of articles as x. So let the number of articles be x. Then we can write the cost of production. Cost of production of each article or one article will be equal to what is given in the question. It was observed on a particular day that the cost of production of each article was 3 more than twice the number of articles. Okay, it is 3 more than twice the number of articles. So here we can write 2x plus 3. 3 more than twice the number of articles. Okay, and the total cost of production on that day was rupees 90. Okay, total cost of production is given as rupees 90. So in order to find the total production, we have to multiply the number of articles with the cost of production of one article. That means x into 2x plus 3. Okay, so according to the question, we can write x into 2x plus 3 is equal to 90, and we can multiply 2x square plus 3x is equal to 90, or 2x square plus 3x minus 90 is equal to 0. Here the sum is 3 and the product is minus 180. We have to find the pair of numbers that satisfies the condition that sum is 3 and product is minus 180. And after getting the number, we can easily split the middle term and find the final answer. Okay, so let us find the numbers. Here the numbers are 12 and 15. Okay, so we can put the sign of 12 as minus. 15 minus 12, 15 minus 12 is 3, and 15 into minus 12 is minus 180. So using this number, we can split the middle term. Here 2x square minus 12x plus 15x minus 90 is equal to 0. From the first two terms, 2x is common, so 2x into x minus 6, and from the next two terms, 15 is common, so 15 into x minus 6, which is equal to 0. Okay, so here we have x minus 6 as a common factor that we can take it out. So x minus 6 into 2x plus 15 is equal to 0, and we can equate x minus 6 is equal to 0 or 2x plus 15 is equal to 0. So we can write x equal to 6 or 2x is equal to minus 15, and which implies x equal to minus 15 by 2, and we have to reject this value. Minus 15 by 2 is not possible because we take the number of articles as x. Okay, so here x equal to minus 15 by 2 is rejected. Therefore x is equal to 6. So what we can write is, so the number of articles is equal to 6, and the cost of production of each article equal to 2x plus 3, which is equal to 2 into 6 plus 3, which is equal to rupees 15. Okay, so the number of articles produced in a particular day is 6, and the cost of production of one article will be equal to rupees 15. Okay, dear students, in this video we have discussed the solution of a quadratic equation by factorization method. That means how to find the roots of a quadratic equation using the splitting the middle term technique. And we have completed exercise 4.2 as well. I think all of you understood the concept. If you have any doubt in any question, you can ask me in the online session. So thanks for watching. Thank you.